What's going on, everybody? I'm Tank, and this is another episode of Roadie Reactions.
Get with this.
We've made it through another week. It's the weekend once again, which means it's time for another edition of Sabaton Saturday. This is the dedicated day of the week where I continue my personal adventure discovering the music of Sabaton while also learning a lot of cool history along the way. And in today's video, I am going to be checking out a song that I am highly intrigued by because I'm really interested in the topic. And the song we're checking out today is about the Red Baron. And I would personally argue that the Red Baron name is so popular that damn near anybody you talk to would recognize that name, even if they don't know the full story behind it. And admittedly, I didn't. When I hear the name the Red Baron, I just know it's about a super badass pilot. But I did a little bit of background research before I got into the song, and I'm probably going to learn more later when I watch the Sabaton history about it. But Manfred von Richthofen, also known as the Red Baron, was a fighter pilot for the German Air Force in World War I, and he was known as one of the absolute best fighter pilots that has ever lived and that was part of that war. He was credited with over 80 victories in the air in the war, and he has more decorations and awards and tributes than I can even list just sitting here right now. Honestly, I can't even remember all of them because there was so many. Now, his whole story was interesting, but his death was also very intriguing because nobody really knows what happened. He landed his plane, he had a fatal gun wound, and there were many different versions of the story by people who witnessed it and found his plane. So hopefully I learn a lot more with this song and from Sabaton history afterwards. So as always, I'm going to be watching the lyric video first so I can see what they're singing about, and then we're going to watch a live performance. So I will link those videos in the description below. And today, I'm once again listening to Sabaton, and for the very first time hearing the Red Baron. Let's go! I like this intro. Alright, before this next verse, right off the bat, this is giving me like major Deep Purple vibes, which is a good thing because I grew up on Deep Purple. It's one of my dad's favorite bands ever. Good vibe to this, man. I really like it. It's a little different from what I've heard from Sabaton so far, which is only 8 or 9 songs, but let's continue on with this, man. This is cool. So far there's been a couple, historical based lyrics in here and stuff. And I just remembered what I didn't mention in the intro about his death. And I don't know if they're going to speak about it in the song, but when he died, it was due to air combat. And apparently, from what I read, a bullet had hit him while he was in his plane. But he had the strength enough to land his plane. And when he was found on the ground, he was dead. But he died at the age of 25. So his time in the service, that short time he had in that short span of life, he was able to become that notorious as that good of a pilot. And just, obviously very, very, very well known among his old soldiers, but even the Allied soldiers respected him as well because of how dangerous of a pilot he was and how good he was. I want to start this over. This has Jon Lord vibes all over it. This is awesome. I love this. That's a fun one, man. I cannot wait to watch the Sabaton history on this one. But before we do that, let's go check out this live performance. So I'm not going to lie, before I started this one, I was trying to find a live performance that wasn't from the Great Tour, just because I've been doing a lot of those. But I did realize that this is a pretty new song. So there's probably not a live performances on YouTube. And I did find another one, but I was told that the plane that I saw in the Lion from the North video was not in it, and I wanted to see the plane. So we're back to the Great Tour, live in Berlin. I'm pretty sure this video is going to start out with a Noch ein Bier, but we'll find out. Already. Spilled it.
My friends, I don't know what to say. What a fucking welcome. Wait. Before I drink this, I should give you a fair warning. Making me drink a lot of beers tonight might not be a good idea. Because I'm Scandinavian, and when Scandinavian people get drunk, we get naked.
Is that a thing?
Okay, if that's what you want, I'll fucking drink until I drop everything. Cheers!
Before we continue, I'm just going to guess this is earlier on in the set, because that's the first time he kind of told the crowd, like, you might not want to do this a bunch, so might be one of the first times they did it in the show. And so that the Red Baron playing is on stage. And I saw that in the Lion from the North Great Tour video, and I was really intrigued by that. And now I'm sitting here wondering how that got on stage, because it does not appear that there's a lot of room to bring in props on and off stage, especially something that's that big. So without seeing it, the full thing yet, my guess right now is that that was rigged from the ceiling. That they probably lowered it down from rigging points for the specific song, and then maybe brought it back up after the song was over. That's my guess right now, because I don't know how they would have got that on stage. But I'm sure I'll find out.
Now, you guys might be thinking that we have a really small airplane on stage, which we technically do, but this is not a mere airplane. This is the world's coolest Hammond organ.
Well, it looks like a Nord 5D, but
I will show you. You can play anything on a fucking Hammond organ. Let's see, there is one more I heard you sing earlier. Let's see if we can do that.
you know, now that I've seen enough Sabaton videos, what I'm really enjoying about their live performance, aside from the production, is just how much really cool crowd interaction is going on. Like, you go to a lot of shows and you see people that just perform, and it's great. They put on a great show, but when you have a band and a frontman like this that are interacting directly with the crowd, I mean, he's talking to them, he's asking questions, he's addressing them as a whole, it makes them feel as though they are way more a part of the actual show rather than watching a performance. And I love that, man. That is super awesome. And I mean, I think any band that pulls that off, like, really shows, like, they know what they're doing as entertainers. They're not up there to play songs. They're up there to create an experience for everybody that's there. Good job, guys.
So, do you want to hear that song? That's too fucking bad, because it's time for the Red Baron!
Boys, I'm pausing a lot in this one. Sorry. As I mentioned in another earlier video, I don't know who that is. I can't tell. And I was told that the guy in the gas mask in the other music video that I saw was Joachim. But a lot of the times when you see stuff like this, it is a crew guy that has dressed up to perform in the show. Now, I don't know if that is, but my guess is that it probably would be. There are a lot of bands that are notorious for that. I mean, you see, like, Rob Zombie, a lot of his crew guys will dress up in those costumes on stage and come out. There are just certain visual effects that if the band can't do it, who else better to have do it than somebody that's on their crew that knows the show? So, let's finally hear this damn song. My fault.
and he's flying. King of the sky, flying too fast and he's flying too high. Flying for a night, let you remember dying. First in the sea is the lethal machine, but the April and the tide is burning. Fire and will is the thrill of the kill, for invasion of the danger's burning. Then raise to fame, the squadron leader. Call out his name, Roger Confligo. In the game to win, a gambler rolls the dice. Radio has paid the price, and he's flying. King of the sky, flying too fast and he's flying too high. Flying for the night, let you remember dying.
So, looking at that plane again, I'm looking at the way that it's built, and I think that it probably is probable that it could fit off the side stage where that little opening is. Because even though it's wide, it looks very shallow, so they could probably just turn it sideways and then just send it out. And now that I think about it, the rigging thing would be way too much work and just way too crazy. One thing that's interesting is that when you bring a prop like that out on stage that has an instrument in it, the crew guys are responsible for when it comes out and gets set. They actually have to plug it up and give it power and get audio to it. So you can see on the floor in one shot, there's a big cable loom running from the side of the stage out to it. So when that gets put out there, one of the crew guys has to plug it in, power it up, make sure everything's working. Now, there's a good chance they might leave the entire contraption plugged in before it goes out there, but sometimes it's easier to just keep all the cables off it and then bring it out there. But man, this is really fun, and there's probably some people that are familiar with this channel that are wondering why my hat's off and I'm not headbanging yet. It's kind of a hard, tempo and feel to headbang to, but I'm really enjoying the shit out of this a ton. So let's hear this Jon Lord sounding bridge again. Alright, we're gonna let this play after this. This is the last pause. I swear to fucking God, this is the last pause. This goes back to what I was talking about, how good entertainers this is. They're getting the crowd involved in the actual show, man, and it's super cool. Gear-wise, as we've said before, it's super hard to pick out the instruments on the downstage side of things because I can only see them from behind. It looks like Tommy and Chris are both playing either Ibanez's or ESPs. We've seen them play the Ibanez RGs, the RGDs, the ESP. I think they have custom M's or custom Horizons. Hard to tell from this angle, but I think it's safe to say Per is probably playing that ESP F-Series bass that he always plays, which is a sick bass. And the more and more I listen to this band, the more I'm impressed with Per's bass playing. I really, really like it. Hannes, as always, we've talked, he's an exclusive artist of Yamaha drums and Sabian cymbals. Discovered recently he was a lefty. Also discovered recently, he used to be an Evergrey, who I just listened to one of their new songs recently, and it is awesome. Another band I can't believe I've been sleeping on. And I'm just going to say it now so nobody blows up the comments, even though other people will, because not everybody watches everything I say. But yes, Hannes Van Dahl is married to the vocalist for Nightwish, Floor Jansen. Let's finish this video off.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I love you guys. King of the sky, flying too fast and flying too high. Life for a life, let you never die.
All right, let's go talk some more about it. So coming into this video, there were a few people in the comments that after I picked out the airplane in that music video, they were like, yeah, that's from the Red Baron, but you know, I don't even know if you should do that one anytime soon because it's one of the less impressive songs that Sabaton has musically. I highly disagree with all of you that said that. I really do. I kind of get where everybody says that this song sounds different from the typical Sabaton song, but musically, there was a lot of really cool stuff going on, man. This is the first song I've heard that really had keyboard parts that stood out, those Hammond organ sounds coming from that synthesizer that were just really rad. And guitar-wise, there was a lot of really cool lead parts going on that they were throwing in different parts. There were some good solos, and just the groove of the whole song was really fun sounding. Like, I did have some hard time finding out like where I could headbang and how I could because of the feel of that song, but this might be one of my favorite songs because of just how the groove was. It just made me feel good. I liked it. I really did. This was super fun. And now after this, I am off to watch the Sabaton history episode on the Red Baron, and if anybody has any interest in checking that out, I'll put a link to that video in the description below because Sabaton does have their own history channel on YouTube where they break down the history of all of these songs. So thank you guys for watching once again, and if this is your first time here, feel free to click subscribe. I release new material all the time. Right now, every Saturday is Sabaton Saturday, and if you turn your notifications on, you'll be notified the second new stuff comes out. If you liked this video, I would greatly appreciate the like as it does help the channel out, but if you disliked it, not a problem. Thank you for watching this time. You are free to click dislike and move on. I'm also on a ton of different social media. I even have a Discord and a Twitch where I stream video games from time to time, and if you have any interest, I'll put the links to all that in the description below as well. My handle on everything social media is @TankTheTech. Thank you so much once again for watching. I will be back very soon with another episode of Roadie Reactions.